Fame can disappear with a headline. From Jimmy Fallon's crying rooms and Will Smith's Oscar eruption to Chrissy Teigen's collapse from social media supremacy, these stars found just how brutally the spotlight can sear. They once dominated Hollywood, until scandal recast them as cautionary figures. Today, we explore the 15 canceled actors and where they stand now. Number 15. Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer's downfall wasn't just fast, it was chilling. After standout roles in Call Me By Your Name and The Social Network, he seemed poised for leading man status. But in 2021, it all imploded. Women came forward with disturbing claims, emotional manipulation, abusive behavior, and violent sexual fantasies, even some laced with cannibalistic undertones. As screenshots and messages leaked, the narrative spiraled. Hammer denied anything criminal, but Hollywood didn't wait. He was dropped from every major project, Shotgun Wedding, a Paramount Plus series, and his agency cut ties. With no work and a totally destroyed image, he disappeared, like D.B. Cooper. At one point, he was reportedly working at a Cayman Islands resort just to make ends meet. His acting career now seems extinct. Though he's given interviews and quietly returned to social circles, Hollywood hasn't invited him back, not even close. Number 14. Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy was once the golden boy of late-night TV, cherished for his goofy charm, musical skits, and celebrity games. The Tonight Show felt like a funhouse with Fallon at the center of the party. But in 2023, the curtain fell, and what it exposed shocked both fans and insiders. A bombshell Rolling Stone report revealed a far darker picture behind the scenes. Comedy and Crying Rooms was the title. Former and current staff accused Fallon of creating a toxic environment, describing the workplace as gloomy and emotionally unstable. Reports spoke of passive-aggressive mood swings, random outbursts, and crying rooms for staff who needed to escape. Though Fallon often apologized after bad days, insiders said this behavior went on for years. He stayed on air, but the backlash hit hard. Social media flipped, NBC stayed silent. Fallon gave a vague apology, but the damage stuck. The show goes on, but not with the same shine. Number 13. Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy used to be the internet's favorite personality, funny, blunt, and unapologetically honest on platforms like X. She built a lifestyle empire with cookbooks, brand deals, and millions of devoted fans. But in 2021, her past came roaring back. Old tweets and DMs surfaced, showing her bullying then-teenager Courtney Stodden, even encouraging self-harm. The messages stunned fans and brands. More claims followed, revealing a pattern of mean-spirited online behavior that clashed hard with her bubbly image. Teigen apologized publicly and repeatedly, but the damage had already sunk in. Retail giants like Target and Macy's dropped her products. Endorsements vanished overnight. So where is she now? Still posting online, but not as boldly. She's focused on rebuilding, leaning into motherhood, starting new business ventures, and avoiding controversy. She hasn't reclaimed her peak popularity, but her fan base has stabilized. She's climbing back, slowly. But her reign as America's favorite celeb might be permanently over. Number 12. Lea Michele. Lea Michele once dazzled as Glee's leading voice. She was celebrated for her stage presence and powerhouse vocals. But her off-screen reputation told a very different story. Back in 2020, former castmate Samantha Ware accused her of bullying and toxic behavior on set, saying Michele made her life miserable. The claims sparked more testimonies. Others described her as controlling, dismissive, even threatening. One even recalled Michele joking about defecating in a co-star's wig. The internet turned fast. Sponsors cut ties. Michele issued a public apology, admitting she had been viewed as insensitive and promising growth. Still, critics labeled her response tone-deaf and self-serving. Just when her career seemed on life support, she staged a surprise return, taking the lead in Funny Girl on Broadway, ironically the same role her Glee character dreamed of. Reviews were strong. Tickets sold out. So where is she now? Well, still divisive. Her voice remains strong, but her public image is still under the microscope. Number 11. Ansel Elgort. Well, at one point, Ansel had it all: charm, looks, and a run of hit films like Baby Driver and The Fault in Our Stars. Hollywood seemed set on crafting him into a long-term leading man. But in 2020, it all stalled when a woman accused him of misconduct tied to an alleged encounter when she was underage. Elgort, without any second guess, denied wrongdoing, calling it brief and consensual. But backlash hit pretty fast. With the Me Too movement still reshaping the industry, no one waited for a verdict. His social media went quiet. Fan pages froze. Studios kept their distance. He still appeared in Spielberg's West Side Story, but promotion downplayed his involvement. He skipped press events. Critics barely mentioned him. Now Elgort's virtually vanished from the US spotlight. He's reportedly doing smaller projects overseas, including indie films in Asia. But his days as a Hollywood lead seem paused indefinitely, for now at least. Number 10. Will Smith. The 2022 Oscars were meant to celebrate film, just like other normal Oscars. But instead, they became one of live TV's most surreal moments. Will Smith stepped on stage and slapped Chris Rock across the face over a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith. The fallout was immediate. Within days, Smith went from Oscar winner to Hollywood outcast. He was banned from the Academy for 10 years. Studios paused or canceled deals. The same man known for charm and dad jokes had snapped on camera. Since then, he's tried to make amends, issuing apologies, stepping back from the spotlight, and avoiding the press. He slowly returned with Emancipation, but public response was mixed. Not because of the film, but because many weren't ready to see him yet. His career isn't over, but it's messy. He's still producing and acting, but the warmth once tied to his name has cooled. Hollywood may forgive, but only when the audience does, too. Number 9. Jonathan Majors. Not long ago, Jonathan Majors was on track to become one of Hollywood's top-tier stars. From The Last Black Man in San Francisco to Creed III, and as Kang the Conqueror in the MCU, he was everywhere. But 2023 flipped that narrative. In March, he was arrested in New York for domestic assault involving his then-girlfriend. The situation quickly turned into a media storm. Reports of troubling text messages and emotional abuse surfaced, worsening the public reaction. Marvel, once betting big on him, severed ties. His agencies dropped him soon after. The trial wrapped in late 2023, with Majors found guilty of reckless assault and harassment. Though he avoided jail, his reputation took a serious hit. Once rising fast, Majors is now largely cut off from Hollywood. He's made no major public appearances, interviews, or announcements. Sources say he may pivot toward writing or directing, but for now, the industry has shut its doors. Number 8. Jussie Smollett. Jussie was soaring on Empire, celebrated for both his performance and activism. But in 2019, that all shattered. He reported a hate crime in Chicago, claiming 2 men attacked him, yelled slurs, poured bleach on him, and tied a noose around his neck. But the investigation flipped everything. Authorities alleged he staged the entire incident for attention. The fallout exploded. He was charged and later convicted of filing a false report. Though he maintained innocence, the evidence painted a damning picture. In 2022, he was sentenced to 150 days in jail and ordered to pay restitution. His career flatlined. Empire cut him loose. Offers disappeared. Where is he now? He occasionally appears at small events or indie projects, but mostly stays out of sight. He's reportedly focusing on music and directing outside the mainstream, and still claims he's the victim of a smear campaign. But in an industry built on image, He is one few want to gamble on. Number 7. Doja Cat. Doja Cat skyrocketed to fame with viral hits like Say So and her chaotic, meme-worthy online persona. A Gen Z icon with chart-topping songs and unpredictable humor, she seemed unstoppable until the internet turned. Starting in 2020, old screenshots and videos resurfaced, allegedly linking her to racially insensitive chat rooms and the use of slurs. Claims ranged from participating in alt-right spaces to mocking Black culture. Fans were blindsided. Hashtags to cancel her started trending. Doja responded, the only way Doja would, part apology, part defiance. She denied anything hateful but admitted to questionable online behavior, blaming misinformation. Still, she kept releasing music like nothing happened. Her fan relationship soured further when she began mocking them online, calling her own supporters creepy and weird. Yet despite the backlash, her albums continued to perform well. Today, she remains a major force in music, but with a fractured fan base and an image that shifted from beloved internet queen to something far less certain. Number 6. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf's career has always walked the line between brilliance and mayhem. From Transformers blockbusters to indie standouts like Honey Boy and the Peanut Butter Falcon, he was Hollywood's unpredictable wild card. But in late 2020, that chaos hit a breaking point. Singer and actress FKA Twigs filed a lawsuit, accusing LaBeouf of emotional, physical, and psychological abuse during their relationship. She described disturbing patterns of manipulation, isolation, and threats. LaBeouf admitted he had hurt people and needed help, though he didn't directly address the most severe claims. The industry moved fast. Netflix stripped his name from the Pieces of a Woman campaigns. Agents cut ties. Directors passed. He entered rehab and retreated from public view, reportedly focusing on recovery. In 2022, he briefly resurfaced in an interview, claiming to have found faith and accountability. Still, no major roles have followed, and most of Hollywood continues to keep its distance. The question now is whether art can ever outrun the past. Number 5. Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller's Hollywood spiral is one of the messiest in recent memory. Once hailed for perks of being a wallflower and cast in Fantastic Beasts and The Flash, their career began unraveling in 2022. Allegations stacked fast. Multiple arrests, restraining orders, accusations of grooming, burglary, and violent outbursts. Incidents in Hawaii, Vermont, and across the U.S. became tabloid staples. The legal chaos mounted, and Warner Brothers was pressured to act. Still, The Flash hit theaters in 2023 with Miller as the lead, as the studio clung to its sunk investment. But the film bombed. Public backlash crushed its reception. Miller skipped press tours entirely. No interviews, no red carpet, just silence. They're reportedly in treatment and staying out of sight. Warner Brothers hasn't confirmed future plans, and insiders believe their career is indefinitely frozen, if not completely shut down. What do you think about him? Well, let us know. Now, let's move to number 4. Asia Argento. Asia Argento was once a prominent and popular voice in the Me Too movement. A respected Italian actress and filmmaker, she became internationally known after being among the first to publicly accuse Harvey Weinstein. Her courage helped spark a wave of similar voices and shifted the power balance in Hollywood. But in a sharp reversal, Argento was later accused of misconduct herself. In 2018, actor Jimmy Bennett claimed she had sexually assaulted him when he was just 17, under California's age of consent. The situation grew worse when it was revealed she'd paid Bennett a $380,000 settlement. Argento denied the allegations, claiming the payment was arranged by her then-partner, Anthony Bourdain, to avoid scandal. Regardless, her reputation collapsed. She was dropped from X Factor Italy and became a polarizing figure overnight. Since then, she's kept a low profile, occasionally acting and directing in smaller European productions. But her position as a central activist in the movement she helped ignite is gone. Number 3. Allison Mack. Allison was best known for playing Chloe Sullivan on Smallville, the loyal, intelligent girl next door in a world full of superheroes. But her real-life story took a stunning turn that ended behind bars. In 2018, Mack was arrested for her role in NXYVM, a so-called self-help group that was later revealed to be a secret cult. She wasn't just involved. She was a top recruiter, accused of luring women into a hidden society within the group where they were branded, starved, and pressured into sex acts with leader Keith Raniere. Mack pleaded guilty to racketeering and conspiracy, and in 2021, she was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Just before sentencing, she issued a statement of deep regret, saying she had been manipulated and misled. But for many, it was impossible to reconcile the smiling TV actress with the grim reality of her crimes. Today, Mack is serving time, her career over, and Hollywood has completely closed the door. Number 2. Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson was once one of Hollywood's most bankable names. With blockbuster hits like Lethal Weapon and Braveheart and Oscar-winning work as a director, he seemed untouchable. But starting in 2006, his public image unraveled, loudly. It began with a DUI arrest and a now infamous anti-Semitic tirade against police. The backlash was massive. Just when it started to cool, more disturbing recordings surfaced in 2010. This time, Gibson was heard delivering racist and misogynistic rants toward his then-girlfriend. The audio clips confirmed the worst fears about his off-screen persona. Studios distanced themselves immediately. Offers disappeared. For years, he was one of Hollywood's most toxic names. Slowly, though, Gibson crept back into the picture. In 2016, Hacksaw Ridge earned 6 Oscar nominations. He's continued working, mostly in lower-budget or independent films, but controversy never fully left. Every role reignites debate. Today, Gibson is still active, but his name remains a lightning rod, and the spotlight he once commanded now casts a long shadow. Now let's end this with Number 1. James Franco. James Franco was once a critical darling, Oscar-nominated box office favorite, and known for balancing quirky indies with mainstream blockbusters. But in 2018, several women, former students, accused him of abusing his position at his acting school, pressuring them into uncomfortable, often sexual situations under the guise of education. The accusations gained momentum during the height of the Me Too movement. Franco denied the claims, but in 2021, he quietly settled a lawsuit with 2 women for over $2 million. Though he wasn't criminally charged, his career stalled hard. Studios dropped him. Friends, including longtime collaborator Seth Rogen, distanced themselves. Franco vanished from public view, skipping events and pausing all major work. Lately, he's resurfaced through obscure indie films and low-key directing jobs. He's even taken up teaching. But Hollywood hasn't fully welcomed him back. His star hasn't vanished, but it's nowhere near where it once stood. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, share it, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in with us, and we'll catch you in the next one.